very early right now, so if the brain is not braining, I'm leaving SF. Look at these lovely people. Thank you so much for hosting me. Any last words?
Thank you for coming to visit us. Thank you all who are watching this. Evelyn's such a blessing. This has been fun, the highlight of my month.
Oh, the highlight of the month. The highlight of my month as well. Do you have any parting wisdom? The pastor.
Too much going on.
Okay, bye.
Some more expressive than others.
Thanks to Gabe for driving me. I really appreciate you.
No worries. It is on the way
To the
courthouse.
But it is very early, so.
It is.
As I mentioned in the last vlog, I decided to take a train down to LA, and I chose to do this specifically because it was on my bucket list to take a long distance train ride. However, to get to the train, I had to first take a bus ride across the bay to Emeryville, where I could board at the Amtrak station there. Unfortunately, the train ended up being seriously delayed, and I spent several hours waiting before I was finally able to board. The train I took was called the Coast Starlight, and the route actually starts in Seattle and ends in LA, making stops along the coast. The ride time from SF to LA was a little over 12 hours, but even the coach seats were incredibly spacious, especially compared to a plane, and there were only a few other passengers near me. The Coast Starlight is known as one of America's most beautiful train rides, and I had been hoping for some nice views, but sadly, because the train was so delayed, I only had a few hours of daylight, and I spent some of that sleeping because I had gotten up so early. When I did wake up, it was approaching sunset, and I moved to the observation car to watch the scenery roll by before it got dark. Okay, it's day one in LA. I got in at literally like 2 a.m. last night from the train. It was so delayed, like almost 5 hours delayed, but made it here. Today we're going to Disneyland. So I went to bed at like 3 a.m. I did sleep on the train, so I feel okay, but not sure how much energy I have for like amusement park activities, but hopefully it'll be fun. I'm with my sister, and we're going with a friend of hers. So yeah. I hadn't been to Disneyland in quite a while, so this was a fun experience to be back. We spent a good chunk of time in Galaxy's Edge because my sister and her friend are big Star Wars fans, and though I'm not a huge Star Wars person, I have to admit that this part of the park was probably the coolest. It's immersive in a way the rest of the park isn't, and the cast members walking around and interacting with people made it all the more real. They also had a bunch of fun animatronics that moved and spoke. Of course, we had to go on the Millennium Falcon ride, in the middle of which I realized I really could not film and play at the same time, so enjoy this chaotic clip of us piloting our ship, or at least attempting to. Oh my god!
Pilot on the right, pull back on the stick to fly up, and push forward to fly down. Only one gun.
Oh my god! Okay, this is up! You need to turn us! Turn us! Oh my my gosh!
Now let's go get that coaxial. Right, pilot. Make the jump to light speed. Never reason, never wrong. You step down, you step it down.
The last ride of the day, my sister and I went on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride because we had heard it was kind of unhinged, which it certainly was. It's a little hard to tell because it's so chaotic, but essentially you're Mr. Toad in the ride and you break some law, and so you have to go to court. But then you get run over by a train and then you end up in hell, and that's actually just the end of the ride. I don't really know the lore behind this ride, but it's definitely very weird.